afternoon, investors and corporates. Welcome to Set Digital Roadshow third quarter 2022 performance review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30 minutes presentation, followed by 15 minutes Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the questions to the company directly. May I now invite WHA Corporation Public Company Limited to start the presentation.
สวัสดีครับ My name is Natapat. I'm a Group CFO of the WHA Group. Let me start the presentation on page number 5. As of the end of the third quarter, we continue to have 4 business hubs, logistic, industrial estate, utility and power, and digital. On logistics side, as of the end of the third quarter, we have around 2.7 million square meters. For the 9 months, we got a net rent of build-to-suit warehouse farm and RBF/RBW of around 135,000 square meters. On top of that, we also got a short-term contract, 114,000 square meters. And on industrial estate, the total area that under development, under operation, and ready for sale, totaling around 71,300 rai. 11 industrial estate in Thailand and 1 in Vietnam, and around 3 to 4 industrial estate plus expansion in the pipeline during the next few years. I would cover that in the couple of slides later. Total land sale for the first 9 months, we reached 1,512 rai, 1,400 of which in Thailand and 100 rai in Vietnam. On top of that, we also still get LOI MOU 235 rai in Thailand and 117 in Vietnam. Backlog that waiting for transfer and recognized revenue, more than 1,300 rai in Thailand and around 23 rai in Vietnam. On utility and power side, the utility volumes 9 months is around 112 million cubic meters, around 9% increase. Install megawatt under operation 619, and on top of that 62 megawatt additional capacity under development. For digital side, we continue to have a 1 data center after 2 data center monetized in the first quarter, and all the profit from that monetization has already been booked in the first quarter. FTTX side, we already cover 11 industrial estates, and the migration is still continuing. If I flip to page number 7, in terms of the awards and recognition, just recently our group got 3 set awards. At WHA Corporation, we got a Commended Sustainability Award for the market cap between 30 billion to 100 billion, and in that category, and this award is the highest for that category. For the WHAUP, they got a Best Innovative Company Award from the peer-to-peer energy trading that we have been talking about during the last years. And also one of the REIT in WHA Group, the WHAIR, also got the Outstanding REIT Performance Award. Both WHA Corporation and WHAUP continue to be listed in THSI for the 3rd year. And in terms of, may I scroll, this page on the growth strategy that we delivered throughout 2022. The logistics side, the new projects that we announced around end of last year, the new mega project, up to now, the first phase of this project already got 72% booked by the customers, and we are launching the second phase on this site around a year and a half sooner than we initially planned it. For the WHA 36 in the middle, this project we complete the construction around end of last year, also beginning of this year, and this is the site where it's in the news that BYD, a big EV car manufacturer, that bought around 600 rides from us in the third quarter, located in this location. And also on the operation side, to enhance, to widen the products, the offer to the customers. The first nitrogen gas generation plant, it's already start supplying for the customers. We in JV with BIG, Bangkok Industrial Gas. And on the solar rooftop, we secure one of the biggest solar rooftop in ASEAN, 19 megawatt with a plant called Prince Chern Chan. And also on the healthcare application Webit, we also signed MOU with Smith Hospital to co-develop on the healthcare application. On the mission for the net zero, we are also announced the target to achieve net zero by 2050. We just recently announced this year, and as a big milestone on the journey to get a net zero, we proud to announce that we now are in the position that already achieved the carbon neutrality on scope 1 and 2 greenhouse gas emission. And also, we also have excess carbon credit that we are exploring the best way to monetize this. As a first step, we already register some of the capacity with the local entity called Thailand Voluntary Emission Reduction Program, or TWER, and would continue to look at in details for the monetization options. Okay. In terms of performance, just as a big picture first, the third quarter year on year, we got on the top line basis on normalized revenue and share profit. We got around 50% increase, mainly driven by the land business and sale of properties that have 591% increase. That's coming from the higher number of rights for land transfer both in Thailand and Vietnam. And also the utility business that we, in the third quarter, we got a very big customers in terms of utility consumption, and we got the excessive charge booked in this quarter, around 7% increase year on year. The part that it's continue to have a negative impact is a power business. The part that get hit the most is the SPP. That's coming from the squeeze in the spread of the sale to industrial customers. I would explain in a little bit later slide. On the bottom line basis, it's quite in line with the top line, with 45% increase in normalized net profit. Going into each business hubs, as I mentioned, 9 months, we got around 135,000 square meters. Short-term contract, we already exceed the full year target of 100,000. We got around 114,000 square meters. As such, the third quarter total area it's already exceed what we forecast from the beginning of the year. We are now at 2.7, more than 2.7 million square meters. In terms of the contribution of the asset, actually in the logistic business for rent, space for rent, we divided into two types: logistic properties and industrial properties. The logistic properties totaling close to 2 million square meters, industrial property around 760,000 square meters. If you look at the pie chart below right, you would see that the customer profile of each business property type is a bit different. On the logistic property, 3PL, FMCG, healthcare manufacturer, and e-commerce that contribute most of the port. But on the other hand, for the industrial property, the customer profile quite reflect of the customers that located within our industrial estate. So automotive and parts, logistic, electronic, and consumers, these four group contribute more than 75%. Okay, and zooming in on the 135,000 square meters net rent that we get a new project, you would see that on the build to suit and warehouse farm, actually we get around 143,000 square meters of the area. But we for the 9 months on the ready-built warehouse and factory, we get a negative net rent. It's simply because we have one big customers that buying the land from us and build their own factory within our industrial estate. And at this period, their factory has been completed and they move out of the ready-built factory. But we are not overly concerned on this because in Q4 and in the overall market, we still really see strong demand on this ready-built warehouse and factory. Another page that important to note, this is a transaction that in almost every year we would have in the end of at the fourth quarter of each year, the asset monetization to reach. This year we would have the monetization program on both logistic properties to the WHART and industrial properties to the WHAIR, our two flagship REIT. And for the build to suit, for the logistic properties, 60% of the asset pool that will be monetized would be under the JV company that we don't own 100%. 40% of asset is our own portfolio. As such, the transaction size totaling 4 billion would be booked into two types. The revenue from the monetization and the part in the JV would be booked as a share of profit. Just to note here, because it would be explained more once this transaction complete in Q4. Um, okay, next page would be some CQ deal and upcoming deliverables. On the left side, it is some of the new project and contract that we got throughout 2022. You would see the segment of the customers continue to be very similar group as in the last few years. 3PL, third-party logistic, express industries. These are the sectors that during the last few years has been growing substantially. On the right side is the projects that is about to complete and expected within the second half of this year. Consumer goods, 21,000, another consumer goods, 18,000, and 3PL logistic, 13,000 square meters. Next page is the new project that we announced. The leftmost is the project that we already announced end of last year, and the first phase, 170,000 square meters out of 400,000 square meters, the total area. The first phase is already get 62% occupied, and at the moment we already start activating the second phase because there's more and more customers that are looking and would like to secure the space in this location. And on the middle, the new project that we just read in the last few months, we just announced. This is another project in Bang Natrat area, which is a prime area of logistics. This location around 100 something right retailer for around 150,000 square meters. And this is quite a special plot because it's one of the last one of very rare freehold land that we get in this prime area. On the rightmost is the new project in Bang Natrat, kilometer 23 inbound. And this location is very next to Bang Natrat Highway. And you'll see in the picture, retailer for 3 buildings, 38,000 square meters. We haven't started the construction yet. We are about to start construction, but at the same time, at least 2 out of 3 buildings, we already get customers in and under discussion on these buildings. Okay, I touched a bit up on this page on the office solution. Just a quick update on the right hand side, the new the developing project and the latest one that we hold 50% of this project. WHAKW Sukhumvit 25 project is 9,900 square meter building. Now it's 55% completed, scheduled to be completed mid of next year. And on technology side for logistics, we continue to pursue and looking into trying to launch the products regarding the smart warehouse, clean transportation, and also looking for the implication of the quantum computing into the route optimization and the other aspect to enhance the efficiency of the transportation and warehouse management. And in terms of investment in startup, so far we have 4 investment to a private self-storage company called Storage Asia. And the second one is Gistic Express. The third one is Mercula.com, which is the platform for tech gadget. And this marked as a first entry for our company into the B2C market through this investment. And the latest one, Mangmi, they are the platform that trying to revolutionize the Thailand traditional trade to enhance activities on this segment. On industrial estate business, okay, 71,000 rai for the land in that we have under development, operating and ready to sell. 11 in Thailand, 2 upcoming in Thailand, and 1 expansion. In Vietnam, we have 1 existing project. The first one in Nghệ An. The first phase is already sold more than 70%. The second phase is under construction. The second site that we announced earlier, Thanh Huo province. In the past, if you follow us, you would note that we used to explore 2 projects in Thanh Huo province, but now we only focus on 1 project and drop another one. But at the same time, we got the third location. We just recently signed MOU with Quang Nam province in August. And in this area, in this province, the land we got allocated award that is around 2,500 rai, 400 hectare. And for performance, as mentioned to you earlier, in the third quarter, we have 999 rai, 930 of which in Thailand, 69 in Vietnam. Totaling 9 months, we got around 1512 out of the target for the whole year of 1650. Actually, the achievement in Thailand is already exceed the target that we have of 1400. We already get 1412. Vietnam, we're still waiting for some customers to finalize on the land sale. Okay. Backlog, I already mentioned to that. Next page, I just would like to highlight a few things. Chinese investor definitely from 2019 to third quarter 2022 has been a big customer group that coming in for industrial estate. But one thing I would like to note here is that since this year we start seeing a flow inquiry and demand coming back from some of the investor group that has been drying up for many years. In particular, Japanese group, US and European has been coming back for in terms of inquiry and flow that we see. And the good thing of this wave of demand that coming in, it's not only concentrating only on one segment. We see as you probably noted that Thailand has now been quite a hot destination for EV car manufacturer. Auto continue to be very good contribution to us, but we also still see consumer um, and electronic as a very good segment that still continue to have a robust demand also. The next page would be the deals that we have been talking about, the BYD deals that buying from us around 600 right. And this marked another important milestone that now I think the question of whether Thailand would how the position for Thailand would be under the EV world that should be quite clear now. Actually, BYD is the third Chinese EV car manufacturer that located within our industrial estate on top of MG and Great Wall that has been with us for quite a while. And just as a additional note, we still believe that we and hope that we would in the future we would have a deal that can announce that additional or more EV car manufacturer would located in Thailand also. Next page. This is the location that I talked about, the RY36 that we signed up with BYD. And this is newly open, gross area close to 1,300, BY net sellable area around 1,000, and BYD signed up for 600 right in this site. And just during the discussion with BYD, they explicitly asked us whether we have a plan to expand this location because they would expect to have a supply chain that they would bring in with them to locate that want to locate it close to the BYD plant. And it just happens that it's in our plan in next page in our pipeline that we already earmarked to expand Rayong 36 in 2024. This page we announced beginning of the year, even before the deal with BYD is concluded in the third quarter. The land acquisition has been completed. The licensing and documentation we expected to complete within this year and start construction next year and to be completed in 2024. Let me move on to Vietnam on page 34. Okay. This one, I think I already mentioned the first phase of Nghi An and Thanh Hua, the second location, and the third location in Quang Nam. The project in Thanh Hua and Quang Nam, we expect to start construction in 2024 or late 2023 and should be ready for the first in revenue coming from this project around 2025. Okay. Let's move on to okay. This is the second phase of Nghi An 2,215 right. It's already under construction, already obtained IRC and licensing. Next page would be the two project. Let me touch up on a bit on Quang Nam project. It's the province next to Da Nang. It's located not too far from Da Nang International Airport, around 45 minutes, and not too far from Da Nang deep sea port. And it has it has very good availability of labor, especially from also from Da Nang province. And also it has quite a unique living environment to attract the FDI. On utility and power, okay, 9 months, we have around 111.7 million cubic meters. The third quarter, 36.6 Actually, the third quarter volume year on year is mainly driven by the increase, very good increase in demand in Vietnam. On the next page, you will see on the 9-month basis, we have 9%, 6% increase in Thailand, and 26% increase in Vietnam. This page, I just would like to note only on one thing is the additional demand from the power plant that marked as block 2 here in 2022. This power plant, the second block is already COD as per planned it, but the problem we have today is that the dispatch order from the government has been sent to this power plant less than what it should be. That's partly because of the peak of the gas price that happens during the third quarter. The dispatch order has been quite slow. But we don't expect that this gonna be a permanent problem. It's more like a temporary situation that should be picked up in the next quarter or two. For utility business, it's not only the additional capacity that we completed during this year with both traditional treatment products and also the value-added products. We also got very big customers that coming in this year, especially the healthcare product, solar panel, and EV automotive sector. These three customers combined have an additional demand of around 9 million cubic meters per year, quite a big users. And also we're trying to find an alternative raw water for both the security of the system and also the saving of the cost when we got the additional alternative source. Okay, let me move on to the power side. Okay, 619 installed equity megawatt under operation and 62 megawatt under development. Another page I would like to note. Let me move on to the 9-month and another page. Okay, this page I would like to note two things. The chart marked as Gecko 1, this is the IPP plant that we have investment. You would see that the availability of this plant this year stand at 79. It's the level that much lower than what we expect. Typically, we should see our close to 90%, but this year continue to have technical problems. Even if it's still better than last year, that got even worse, the technical problems. But this plant would have a major maintenance shutdown beginning of this year, and we're trying to address all the technical problem it has during the last 2 years with this major maintenance. And hopefully next year would turns out better technical performance than this year. The second part that has been quite a negative factor to the contribution of the power business is the sale of the SPP business to industrial user. It's the light blue tab in the bottom left, 1280 that you see here. The problem at this section is that the government has trying to limit the increase of the electricity price, whereas the gas price has been shooting up more than double throughout the year. And the third quarter is one of the worst quarter. This is the worst quarter in throughout the year. And this has been quite a big negative to the contribution to the SPP. But with the latest situation, latest projection by PTT in terms of gas price, we expect that Q4 should have a improvement in terms of margin and spread on this industrial user sale in the fourth quarter and next year. And then I move on to the solar business. At the moment, we have 131 megawatt of the site PPA on hands, and around half of which has been already operated. Target end of year it will be 150 megawatt. And the one of the project that we got the innovation award this year, the P2P energy trading. I just would like to note that for this project is still under the sandbox of ERC, but the scale of this sandbox project is in the industrial scale. We have 9 prosumers and 45 consumers that sign up for this project. On the demand side, we have around 20 megawatt of the customers signing up want to trade on this energy app. Let me move on. I have quite limited time. Let me move on to the performance part. 59, yes. In terms of the normalized revenue and chart profit for the third quarter, 50% year-on-year, 1% Q-on-Q. On the year-on-year, land and utility business is a big driver, as I mentioned. On the Q-on-Q, we have a big positive and big negative. We have quite a big negative in terms of the contribution from power business. But we have quite a very good positive in terms of land business. So it cancel out each other and still get 1% increase. 9-month basis, 37%. The big driver continue to be land and utility business. In terms of normalized net profit, year on year, similar to top line, we got 45% increase. Top line is 50%. But the Q on Q, as you remember a few page ago, Q on Q is 1% increase in terms of top line, but bottom line is 2% decrease, because the part that got a negative effect is the share of profit that coming from power. On 9-month basis, we still continue to have very good figures. 9 months now, we got 1,325 million and 91% increase year on year. Let me move on to page 70. Okay. For the 9 months, we still have a recurring to non-recurring 60-40 somewhere around there in terms of gross profit. Last year, we got around 50-50 between recurring and non-recurring. But as you know that we would have a big non-recurring transactions normally coming in for the fourth quarter, at least the monetization transaction. So for full year basis, we expect that non-recurring should coming back to 50% or even more than 50% for the full year basis. And let me move on to page 73. 73 is the debt profile as of the end of the third quarter. Our weighted average interest rate at the third quarter is at 2.83. It's around 6 basis point, increasing from end of last year. But at the same time, actually the corporate bond for 3 to 5 year has been increased close to 100 basis point. But this year, I need to admit that we have been doing a pre-funding a bit earlier than what we have to around 2-3 months since the first quarter of this year. So we don't get that much effect of the increase of interest yet this year. Okay. And in terms of capex on page 76. This has been announced early of this year that we plan for 5-year capex of 50 billion in all business hubs, and with capex profile, we still envisage and have a target that we could still continue to maintain the target IBD to equity ratio of 1.2 times. I think that's pretty much it for the presentation. If you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand or put it in chat box.
Okay, the session has come to the end. We highly appreciated investors and corporate for joining the conference. If you do need further details, please feel free to drop us an email. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณนะครับ
Thank you very much.